Over 100,000 renters across the UK could face eviction notices in the coming months, and many don't even know they are at risk. Sounds dramatic? It is. A major shift in UK rental laws is creating confusion, panic, and uncertainty for tenants and landlords alike. Social media is filled with half-truths, scary headlines, and rumors about mass evictions. But what's really happening behind the scenes? And could your home be affected next? The truth is, recent updates tied to reforms like changes around Section 21 notices and broader proposals under the Renters Reform Bill are shaking up the private rental market. Some landlords are selling, others are raising rents, and thousands of tenants are suddenly receiving notices they never expected. The system is changing, but not everyone understands how. In this video, we'll break down exactly what's happening, who is most at risk, and most importantly, what you can do right now to protect yourself before it's too late. Number 1. What exactly has changed in the new UK rent law? Over the past year, the UK rental market has been going through one of its biggest shake-ups in decades. The proposed reforms under the Renters Reform Bill aim to reshape the balance of power between tenants and landlords, but the transition period is where much of the confusion is happening. Many renters are hearing about changes to Section 21 no-fault evictions, yet they don't fully understand what has actually taken effect and what is still pending. Here's the critical point. While the government has announced plans to abolish Section 21, the system has not completely disappeared yet. That means some landlords are acting now, issuing notices, reviewing contracts, or even selling properties before the full reforms are implemented. This sudden reaction is creating instability in the rental market. At the same time, proposed changes include moving toward periodic tenancies, stronger tenant protections, and clearer rules around rent increases. On paper, these reforms are designed to provide more security for renters, but in reality, the adjustment period is causing stress. Some landlords fear stricter regulations and rising costs. Tenants fear unexpected eviction. Imagine living in a property for years, paying rent on time, and suddenly receiving a notice because your landlord wants a restructure. That uncertainty is what thousands are experiencing right now. So the real issue isn't just the law itself, it's the timing, confusion, and reaction surrounding it. And if you're renting, understanding these changes could protect you from making costly mistakes. Number 2. Who is most at risk of eviction right now? Not every renter in the UK faces the same level of risk, but certain groups are significantly more vulnerable under the current rental climate. If you're on a rolling periodic tenancy, your situation could be more fragile than you think. Without a long fixed-term contract, landlords may have more flexibility when issuing notices, especially while reforms linked to the Renters Reform Bill are still being phased in. Another high-risk group includes tenants who have fallen slightly behind on rent. With the ongoing cost of living pressure, even being 1 or 2 months late can put renters in a dangerous position. Landlords facing rising mortgage payments and higher property costs may be less willing to negotiate. It's not always personal. Often it's financial survival on both sides. You may also be at risk if your landlord is planning to sell the property. Many small landlords are exiting the market due to increasing regulations and tax pressures. If your rental home goes up for sale, your security could change quickly. Here's a simple question. When was the last time you reviewed your tenancy agreement carefully? Do you know whether you're protected by a fixed term, or are you assuming everything is stable? The biggest mistake tenants make is believing, it won't happen to me. But in times of legal transition, assumptions can be costly. Awareness is your first layer of protection. Number 3. Why are landlords reacting so fast? The hidden financial pressure. To truly understand what's happening, we need to look behind the curtain. This isn't just about new rules. It's about money, pressure, and uncertainty. Many landlords across the UK are facing rising mortgage costs due to higher interest rates. A property that was profitable 2 years ago may now be barely breaking even. When you combine that with regulatory changes proposed under the Renters Reform Bill, some landlords feel squeezed from both sides. Imagine owning a rental property where your mortgage payment suddenly jumps by hundreds of pounds per month. At the same time, new compliance requirements, property standards, and potential limits on regaining possession are being discussed. For smaller landlords, especially those with 1 or 2 properties, this creates fear about long-term stability. And when people feel uncertain, they act quickly. Some are increasing rents to cover costs. Others are choosing to sell before further reforms take full effect. And in certain cases, notices are being issued now to avoid possible future restrictions. This rapid reaction is what's creating the wave of concern among tenants. It's important to understand this dynamic. Not every eviction notice is malicious. Sometimes it's a financial survival decision. But regardless of the reason, the impact on tenants is real. So ask yourself, if your landlord's costs increase tomorrow, would your tenancy still feel secure? Number 4. What you must do right now to protect yourself. If you're renting in the UK, this is not the time to stay passive. The biggest mistake tenants make during legal transitions is assuming everything will sort itself out. It won't. You need to take clear, practical steps to protect your home before problems even start. First, check your tenancy agreement today. Are you on a fixed-term contract or a periodic tenancy? Look carefully at notice clauses, rent review terms, and break clauses. If you don't understand something, don't ignore it. Reach out to trusted organizations like Shelter or Citizens Advice for free guidance. They can explain your rights in simple terms. Second, keep your finances organized. If you're struggling with rent, communicate early. Waiting until arrears build up reduces your options. Many councils offer early housing support, but they can only help if you contact them before crisis. Third, document everything. Keep written records of rent payments, repair requests, and landlord communication. If a dispute happens, evidence becomes your strongest shield. Finally, stay informed about updates linked to the Renters Reform Bill. Laws evolve, and being informed gives you power. Protection isn't about panic. It's about preparation. Ask yourself, if you received a notice tomorrow, would you know exactly what to do? Number 5. Common myths about the new UK rent law. Right now, misinformation is spreading faster than the law itself. Social media posts, dramatic headlines, and word-of-mouth rumors are causing unnecessary panic. So let's clear this up. Myth number 1. All evictions have been banned. That's simply not true. While reforms linked to the Renters Reform Bill aim to remove certain types of no-fault evictions, the system has not completely disappeared yet. In many cases, landlord can still legally issue notices if proper procedures are followed. Myth number 2. If you receive a notice, you must leave immediately. Again, not accurate. A notice is the start of a legal process, not the final step. In most situations, tenants have specific notice periods and legal rights before any court action can happen. Understanding timelines can reduce panic dramatically. Myth number 3. Landlord can raise rent whenever they want. Rent increases must follow legal guidelines and contract terms. There are procedures, notice requirements, and sometimes limits depending on the tenancy type. It's not random. The real danger isn't always the law. It's misunderstanding it. When people react based on fear instead of facts, they make rush decisions that can cost them their homes. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, have you verified what you've heard, or are you relying on social media headlines? Knowledge replaces fear, and clarity gives you control. Number 6. What happens next? The future of renting in the UK. So where's all of this heading? The truth is, the UK rental market is entering a transition phase, not a final destination. The reform connected to the Renters Reform Bill are designed to create longer-term stability, but major legal changes take time to fully implement. During this period, uncertainty remains the biggest risk factor for both tenants and landlords. If Section 21 is fully abolished in the near future, the system will likely shift towards stronger grounds-based possession rules. That means landlords will still be able to regain properties, but under clearer legal reasons, such as selling the property or moving in themselves. At the same time, tenants may gain strong protections against unfair evictions and sudden displacement. However, one possible outcome is a tighter rental market. If more landlords exit due to regulatory pressure, housing supply could shrink. When supply drops and demand stays high, rents can rise. That's basic economics. So even reforms meant to protect tenants may unintentionally increase competition for available homes. This is why preparation matters more than prediction. You don't need to panic about the future, but you do need to stay informed and adaptable. Review your tenancy regularly. Maintain good communication with your landlord. Strengthen your financial cushion where possible. The rental landscape is changing, but informed renters will always be in a stronger position than unaware ones. Number 7, final warning. Don't wait until the notice arrives. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most tenants only start researching their rights after they receive an eviction notice. By then, stress levels are high, options feel limited, and decisions become emotional instead of strategic. That's exactly what you want to avoid. The reforms linked to the Renters Reform Bill are still evolving, and while they promise stronger tenant protections in the long run, the current transition period is where mistakes can happen. If your landlord decides to sell, restructure, or adjust their rental strategy, you don't want to be caught unprepared. Think about it this way. Your rental home isn't just a contract, it's your stability, your routine, your family's security. Losing that suddenly can disrupt work, school, finances, and mental well-being. Preparation isn't pessimism, it's protection. Start by reviewing your agreement. Save an emergency fund if possible. Keep communication respectful and documented. Stay updated from reliable sources, not viral posts designed to cause panic. Ask yourself honestly, if something changed tomorrow, would you feel informed or overwhelmed? The renters who stay aware, organized, and proactive are the ones who navigate change successfully. Don't wait for a crisis to start caring about your rights. Number 8, disclaimer and smart next steps. Before we close, it's important to be clear about something. This video is designed to give you general information about recent UK rental changes and the potential impact of reform connected to the Renters Reform Bill. Laws evolve, timelines shift, and individual situations can vary widely. What applies to one tenant may not apply to another. If you receive a formal notice or face a housing dispute, always seek professional legal advice or contact trusted organizations such as Shelter or Citizens Advice. They can provide personalized guidance based on your exact circumstances. This video should never replace proper legal consultation. That said, staying informed is one of the most powerful tools you have. Knowledge reduces panic. Preparation increases options. And awareness protects stability. The rental market may be shifting, but informed tenants are far less likely to be blindsided. Your home matters. Your security matters. And understanding your rights is not optional anymore. It's essential. Number 9, conclusion. Stay alert, stay prepared, stay protected. The reality is simple. The UK rental market is changing, and change always creates uncertainty before stability. The discussions and reforms surrounding the Renters Reform Bill are designed to improve fairness in the long term. But right now, we are in a critical transition period. And during transitions, awareness becomes your strongest defense. Thousands of renters are feeling anxious because they don't fully understand what's happening. Some landlords are reacting early. Some tenants are assuming they are fully protected. Both sides are navigating unclear waters. But here's the difference. The people who stay informed, organized, and proactive will always have more control over their situation. This isn't about spreading fear. It's about encouraging preparation. Review your agreement. Strengthen your financial buffer. Communicate clearly. Seek advice early if needed. Small actions taken today can prevent major stress tomorrow. Ask yourself one final question. Are you reacting to headlines or responding with knowledge? Number 10, one more thing most renters are overlooking. Before you click away, there's one critical issue many tenants aren't thinking about: documentation and timing. In periods of legal transition, small technical detail can make a huge difference. For example, if you ever receive a notice linked to changes surrounding the Renters Reform Bill, the date, the format, and the delivery method all matter legally. Many tenants verbally agree to new documents. Others don't realize the notice must meet strict legal standards to be valid. If the paperwork is incorrect, incomplete, or served improperly, it may not be enforceable. But you can't challenge something if you don't understand it. Another overlooked factor is local council support. If you wait until the final stage of eviction proceedings, your options may shrink. Early contact can unlock prevention schemes, mediation support, or emergency housing pathways that aren't available at the last minute. The key takeaway: don't just focus on headlines about mass evictions. Focus on details, timelines, and evidence. Calm action beats emotional reaction every single time. When laws shift, those who pay attention to the fine print are the ones who stay protected. Before you go, tell us, do you feel more informed now than when you started this video? Comment honestly below. We truly put time, research, and effort into every upload. So please subscribe. It's just one click, but it keeps this channel strong and working for you. The UK rental landscape is not collapsing, but it is changing fast. And whenever major housing reforms are introduced, especially those connected to the Renters' Reform Bill, there's always a period of confusion before clarity. That's exactly where we are today. Headlines are dramatic. Social media is loud. But the real power lies in understanding what's actually happening and how it affects you personally. Some tenants may face genuine risk, especially during this transition phase. Others may be safer than they think, but are reacting to fear instead of facts. The difference comes down to preparation. If you know your tenancy type, understand notice rules, keep financial records organized, and seek early advice when needed, you dramatically reduce your vulnerability. At the same time, it's important not to assume every landlord action is hostile. Economic pressures, rising costs, and regulatory shifts are influencing decisions on both sides. That doesn't remove your rights, but it does explain why the market feels unstable right now. Here's the key takeaway: awareness is protection. Don't wait for a notice to start learning your rights. Don't rely on viral posts for legal guidance. And don't assume long-term security without reviewing your contract carefully.